We're fortunate that we have been supplied the backing to give him a proper tribute, a tribute he deserves. We thank you very much, the Patriot Guard, for being here. Please, everyone. It's very special to even have what we have here, considering the weather conditions on this bike can be dangerous. And they're still here. Someone to stand and represent. Thank you. So, let us please begin this tribute to this wonderful fallen soldier. And we are honored to have amongst us the Texas Military Honors Team. They are a piece of the Department of Defense, and they are going to partake in this tribute to make it one that is definitely memorable. So, we also are privileged to have State Representative Faircloth with us. And we thank you, sir, very, very much. Everybody, please give him a hand for showing up. So let's go ahead and do. Would you like to say a few words, Mr. Ferg?
Everyone will tell you they're not much of a politician, but you don't ever ask anybody that knows how to talk to say a few words. So I'm going to apologize for that up front. But let me just say, I'm one of you. I didn't serve in the military. I missed Vietnam by 2 drafts. They took the top 180. My birthday came out number 310, and I missed that. And so I didn't serve in that. I have cousins, nephews. I have 7 uncles who served in World War II. So the sacrifice, the commitment, I understand that freedom's not free. We take that for granted. And God help us, we shouldn't. There are people every day who put their life on the line to make a difference so that you and I can walk around in freedom and do what we want to do. Texas is a great state. It's a great state because it's full of great people. People who know what it is to make a commitment to family and community and to service. And that's what I did. I'm just a country boy. I was born and raised 60 miles north of here. I travel most of this country on horseback. My folks from the cattle business. So I'm not a professional politician. I'm a state representative. I represent 2 counties, Galveston and Chambers. It's 170,000 people. I'm very fortunate to be able to go to Austin, to be a part of the state legislature, and to represent the hardworking people of this state. I realize that nothing is free. It's our money that gets spent, and I spend it like it's mine. And I don't throw my money away. I have 5 children and 5 grandchildren. We know what it is to work and to struggle and to make a difference. But today, it's not about me. This is about Sergeant Gary Collins. And so I have a flag that it's a Texas flag. It was flown over the state capitol in honor of this brave soldier. And so I want to present that. I want to present this flag to you. I realize that your mother-in-law preempted me and gave you a flag, and you may want to share that with her. I just want you to know that the Texas flag came about in 1839. The blue is for loyalty, the red is for courage, and the white's for purity. And there is no greater sacrifice than to give your life. That's courage. Texas was a sovereign nation from 1836 to 1845 for 9 years. That's why we fly the Texas flag at the same height as we do the American flag. We're one of a few states that can do that because we were a sovereign nation. The Capitol in Austin, where the flag flies, is 1 foot higher than the Capitol in Washington, D.C. That's not by happenstance. That's not by happenstance. It is by design. So be proud to be a Texan. Be proud of our state and what it represents. We don't sit on our hands while other people fret and whine and cry about what they don't have. We go out and work and make a difference for what we do. On behalf of the Speaker of the House, the Governor, the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Texas, that'd be Greg Abbott, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, and Speaker Joe Strauss, I bring you greetings from the state of Texas and from the House of Representatives. House Resolution number 2994 says this: whereas United States Army Sergeant First Class Gary Lamar Collins of Chambers County was killed in action while courageously serving his country in Iraq, and his heroism and sacrifice are being honored at the Concert for Hope in Winnie on June 13, 2015. Whereas hosted by the Different Rhythm Foundation, which combats terrorism and the extinction of keystone species in Africa, this event is the only full-day military tribute in the state. Proceeds will benefit the Crystal Beach Retreat Facility of the nonprofit Lone Survivor Foundation, an organization dedicated to caring for wounded service members and their families, and to helping veterans transition back into civilian life. Whereas assigned to Company A, 1st Battalion, 16th Infantry Regiment, 1st Brigade, 1st Infantry Division out of Fort Riley, Kansas, Sergeant Collins was a longtime member of the Army, was certified as both an airborne specialist and a ranger. After serving in Bosnia, he was deployed to Iraq, where he was killed by an improvised explosive device in Fallujah on November the 8th, 2003. We waited a little time in doing this. I apologize for that. This should have been done much earlier. He became the 13th fallen member of the United States Armed Forces from Fort Riley during Operation Iraqi Freedom. And whereas during his decorated military career, Sergeant Collins earned 7 Army Achievement Medals, 3 Army Commendation Medals, and the prestigious Expert Infantryman Badge, and he was posthumously awarded the Bronze Star Medal and the Purple Heart and Sergeant First Class. Whereas Gary Collins was born on May 18, 1971, and graduated in 1990 from Magnolia High School, where he distinguished himself as captain of the football team, as a member of the baseball and track and field teams, and was voted class favorite for 4 consecutive years. He married his high school sweetheart, the former Cassandra Kennedy, on February the 2nd of 1992, and the couple became the loving parents of 2 children, Taylor and Landon. And whereas Americans owe a profound debt of gratitude to those who've answered this nation's call to duty, and the special recognition given to Sergeant Collins by the Different Rhythm Foundation will serve to further perpetuate the memory of this brave soldier for many years to come. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Texas House of Representatives of the 84th Legislature hereby pays tribute to the life of U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Gary Lamar Collins and commemorate the 2015 Concert for Hope. Thank you.
Let's please thank State Representative Faircloth for his attendance and his gracious words on behalf of Gary Collins. We have a couple of requests. One, we kindly invite the troops and platoon that serve with Gary Lamar Collins on the stage, please. I know the brotherhood, and I understand the brotherhood and sisterhood of the armed forces. I think it is absolutely extraordinary that these young men love this guy so much, they were willing to travel in to be part of this tribute and to meet this family, some for the very first time. You get to know each other through letters and names, but you never see faces. And that's why they are here, is for this family to meet these very special veterans that had a very unique and deep connection with their son, husband, uncle, father. The list goes on. The other request, I'm going to let Cassie, the widow.
First of all, thank y'all all very much for coming out and supporting this event. Guys, thank y'all all so much for coming. I want to introduce somebody that's very close to me that is also a part of this, Nicole. Gary and Mark, as anybody knows, were like two peas in a pod, Mutt and Jeff, if you want to call them. And they both died instantly that day. And y'all get up here. Even though we're far apart, they were in Missouri and they're in San Antonio now. We've got a bond that's going to last forever. This has been a long time coming. And I want all of y'all to know that as tough as it is on all of us, it's just as tough on these guys. And everybody in this dang nation owes these men and women that go out and do things like this on a daily basis. We owe them everything. And it's our duty as Americans to give these people what they need to come back to their families and to be whole again, or at least try to be whole. I've been very passionate about things like this. I kind of forced my kids to be a part of it, but as they've grown up, they get it now. And now that y'all are back in our lives again, y'all ain't going nowhere. I just gotta let y'all know that. Because we need you just as much as you need us. And it's together that all of us can help get the things that these guys deserve, the help that they need. It's our duty to take care of each other. And I know it's in the media all the time, and people get gung-ho about it, and then the next thing you know, it's kind of like just forgotten. It falls by the wayside, but these guys are still out there every day busting their butt. So we can all be standing out here today, dancing in the street, drinking beer, and having a good old time. That's what it's about. I love y'all with every ounce of everything that's in me, and I always will, and you always have a part in our family till the day we die. Nicole. She's just as important as we are. They have just, as tragic as everything was, we always just kind of say, everything happens for a reason. And they were together, and now we are together, bonded for the rest of our lives. And if it wasn't for them being able to share, I don't think we would have made it. And I just want to thank, where are you, Rosie? She has worked her rear end to the bone for this. And she didn't have to do it. I mean, we just caught wind of it on Facebook one day that they're building this new lone survivor retreat on Crystal Beach. And she called me and she said, "This is in our backyard. We have to do something." I was like, "Get it, girl. I'll be right there with you every step of the way." So I want to thank you and the whole entire Playa family. Thank you so much for everything that y'all done. Thank you's not enough. Trisha Joe, everybody that came in, Ashley Wise, everybody that has come in, all my girls from Missouri. I thank y'all. I thank you.
That was great, Cassie. That was great. All right, now I would like to introduce Mr. Josie Johnson, who will proceed with taps.
Well, folks, we're here for a special event. And I think even though there's some sadness, there's still some gladness in knowing that finally he's getting his dues that he deserved. And I'm glad and honored to be a part of that. And I'd like to, on behalf of the Texas Military Honors Team, that we are privileged and honored to be to partake in this great event today. We have worked hard trying to help the family before all this started up. It's been a lot of work. But I'd like to say just one thing before we get started with our part. We are dedicating today, this is Gary Lamar Collins Day. I had not had the pleasure to meet this young man, but I feel like I know him because he was a veteran. And I'm sure he CYA'd his troops as well as they did him. We give him honor for that. This whole world is stained with the blood of American heroes. So I should have known better to let this politician go ahead of it because he stole half of my talk. But no disrespect, Representative Faircloth. I admire you, and it's just I just want to let you know in fun and jest. One thing that he did forget to say about was that when Gary started school, he met Cassie, and he left out a very important part. They couldn't stand each other. But somewhere along the road of life, because I think, he was a football hero, he was the ladies' catch, and so, thought he was Mr. Big Shot. And he probably was. But somewhere along, old Cupid hit one of them's heart, and I hadn't figured out which one first, but I think he probably did both of them. There was a lot of love in that home, and I know that for a fact. So I'm going to continue on to tell you that 3 months after this young man graduated from high school, he snuck off and joined the Army. Didn't tell anybody. Sneaky Pete. He signed up, off to boot camp. After boot camp, got all his formal training. He decided that he was ready to go. Well, he missed going to Desert Storm by 3 hours. Instead, he got sent to Germany. On his return back from Germany, before he came back, getting ahead of myself, he got asked to be, he was top of his group, he got asked to join and partake of training with the French Commando Company, which he excelled in. He was one of the top in the class. Then on his return back to Texas, he ended up at Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas, where he spent 4 years and fathered 2 daughters, Taylor and Landry, sweet girls. I can tell you some stories about them. I'm not going to share all of them. I'm going to keep this to myself. I wouldn't embarrass them for anything. So, further ado, he was a practitioner, you know, and he liked to do jokes, and he liked his family, and he loved his kids. And that was shown. Sometimes he got so enthused about wanting to hug them and be part of their life that sometimes he kind of just overzealously kind of, kind of hurt a little bit. But the girls, I see, survived very well. I guess the main thing that I got tickled about, Cassie shared with me that he always bragged about his 6 and his 8-year-old, and by the way, Taylor's oldest, that they could do proper push-ups better than the recruits that he was trying to train. So it's not hard for Dad to brag when he's got something to brag about. So after this went on, he was pretty fanatic about the house being clean. Of course, Army, everything squared away, everything done proper and in its place, and a place for everything. Well, just to aggravate Mom, they'd make their bed, flip the quarter, do all the things to make it squared away. And then the girls would grab Dad and run to the bed, and they just jump in the bed of it and just slam dunk it, tear it all to pieces. And in the background, of course, Cassie was trying to get ready to go somewhere, and you could hear, "Gary!" So I'm sure that the silence fell upon the bedroom. I thought that was a human part of a love and affection of family. Gary bought a late model Thunderbird. Oh, it was a classic car. All the inside was trash. The headliner was hanging down. The paint job was But amazingly today, this wouldn't happen. But the girls say, "Mom, is Dad coming over us in our Daffy-mobile? Our Daffy-mobile? Isn't that it?" With the Hooptyville. Okay, the Dooptyville. All right. But anyway, and they get excited. I guarantee you there's not one teenager in this town right now that if Dad brought that car to pick them up, said, "I'm not riding in that." But these girls loved it because they got a big kick out of it, and it had a real fast motor, and guess what? He had a heavy foot. So this is a tribute that I could tell you a lot more things, and it goes on and on, but Gary, didn't have the privilege to know him, but I want to share this with you. In the last 6 weeks prior to this, 2 weeks prior to this, we've done 7 funerals in 6 weeks. And our World War II veterans are going at a rapid pace. Now we're getting into the Korean veterans and into the Vietnam veterans. So I'd like to share this with the family, if I may. My spirit feels that if I was up there looking down with him, shoulder to shoulder with him, he'd be looking down here and say, "Gosh, you know what? I think it was worth it all." God bless each and every one of you. Students. NCO in charge. Attention. Huh. Begin the tribute to our fallen comrade with honor, dignity, and serenity.
Detail. Attention. Huh. Port. Huh. Ready. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Half left.
Ladies and gentlemen, what I would like to conclude here is that normally for colonels and dignitaries only do you get a riderless caisson. In Chambers County, you get a cowboy caisson. It was led by Miss Maddie Pipkin, who is our Region 5 rodeo queen, and the leader of the riderless horse to represent the fallen was the cousin of Gary Lamar Collins. Could you please give them a hand, please? We do have a very special video tribute to CFC Collins. We have chosen to wait till it gets just a little bit darker, so it's much more easier and viewable. So we invite everyone to please stay. It is definitely a video tribute you do not want to miss. We also thank you very much for attending this. I hope that I can speak for the family how much this means to them. I hope and I pray that in some way everyone finds a little bit of peace in this. I'd like to thank everyone that's been involved in this. I didn't do this alone. I had a team that helped me. And I want to thank each and every one of them. It was not an easy task, but we definitely overcame the obstacles to make this happen. So if you would not mind, please, if you could stay for a little while longer, let the sun set a little bit more out there. We will then show the tribute video. Other than that, we thank you very much for your attendance. And we thank the Collins family, Fontenot, for attending. And is there anything that any one of you would like to say? Yes. Yes, Miss Sandra Womack from PGR.
When PGR formed, Sergeant Collins had already passed away years prior to that. It was formed because of a church called the Westboro Baptist Church. They call themselves Christians, but yet they protest at the funerals of our young men and women coming home that had been killed in action. We started a program locally, it's called Laying of the Roses, that we do at different services. Sergeant Collins has always been remembered, even though we didn't know him and we didn't escort him home. We were so excited when Rosie asked us to be a part of this today. While there may only be 2 of us, there's a lot more across the United States in spirit standing here with every one of you to pay tribute. But we couldn't just pay tribute to Sergeant Collins, we had to pay tribute to Mark Vasquez too. So today, we want to present a certificate and one of our challenge coins, which for those in the military know what that means. Ours means the camaraderie, and that when you look at it, you know that there's a lot of us standing with the family. And we're just honored to be a part of it. And never forget, like Rosie said, freedom's not free. We must always never take the opportunity not to say thank you to a vet. Because, like me or Emmett, we didn't serve. But this is our way to say thank you, and we are serving.
Some memento of this day to Mrs. DeVillier and Mrs. Collins. The girls are going to give them the plaque of some of the things that we discussed here, that I discussed with you earlier. So, with enough to say to that, the Texas Military Honors Team and Post 250 American Legion, and I belong to both of them, we went together and got the shadow boxes for the Texas flag. That's what the ladies wanted, and that's what the ladies got. So without further ado, girls, go ahead and present your plaques to your grandmother and your mother. I think you're going to have a truck to take all the stuff home. But that's okay. I bet you somebody here will have one. We can do that. Thank you so much. Where are you, Rose?
Can we please give the Texas Military Honors Team a great hand? This will conclude the tribute until the video is shown when it gets a little bit darker. So again, we invite you to please stay. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. I think I can speak for the family that it means the world for them, as well as the Vasquez family. Thank you for being here. All right, the mother would like to say a few words. Yeah, we're going again.
Anybody that knows me knows I can't say a few words, but I do want to say this to all the boys that have come that served with Gary. I love you. I am so proud that y'all are home and here with us. You have no idea how I pray for each and every one of you every day. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. And thank you all for coming. I appreciate that. And some of you knew him as a young boy, some of you knew him as a young man, some of you knew him as a little bit older man, but you all knew that he was a great man. And I can't thank you enough for coming. I appreciate it very, very, very much. Thank you.
I got something to say to everybody here, mostly to you two. Both Mark and Collins, I was with them when they passed away. We were going home, we were done. And then too, you couldn't separate them. We were done, we were going home. But the mission wasn't done. And there was something, it wasn't right, and we had to go back. And I apologize, but they were two badasses. I mean, that's what they were. To all of us, it's what, 12 years later? And look at us, we're all together. Stronger than ever, and it's because of them two. We're going home, and they had to make sure the road was clear for the other unit that was going through. And the bad guys were a step ahead of us, and they got us. And that's the truth, and that's what happened. And 12 years it's taken me to tell you this. I freaking love them. Because of them, that's my wife over there. When I got back, my daughter was 10 months old. We were in the front, and Gary wanted to be in the front, and then he passed away. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you know. And because of them, he's my freaking hero. Mark's my freaking hero. And I just needed to get that off my chest. For so long, I've been wanting to say that to you guys. I freaking love you. Because of them, I'm here.
Thank you very much for sharing this story. And thank you very much, the mom, for her words of kindness. Again, this will conclude the tribute, unless there's someone else that would like to say a few words. Okay, one of the daughters is ready for a cocktail after all this. Again, if you can, give some time, and the video will be played, and you will not be disappointed. I thank you all for attending, especially in this weather, and sticking it out. It means the world to us, and again, I know it means the world to the family. Can we please give a big round of applause for the family, please? One last thing. I want everybody to know, from this day forward, June 13th will forever be Gary Lamar Collins Day in the state of Texas. I just thought, you maybe had a few more words. All righty, everyone. Let's enjoy. Thank you.